Back to LEGO Star Wars Gamer. Today I'm coming at you with another mock. Today I'm coming at you with the Resistance Skimmer from Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. It was seen in the trailers a couple times. I think they made a couple trailers. You guys probably already seen them. I've seen them a couple times. Watched them over and over again because it's a pretty good trailer. So anyway, this was seen in one of the scenes in the trailer. So I did mention that I would be doing another Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi mock in my raised training on Octo mock along with the minifigure showcase. You should go check that video out. I mentioned that I would be doing another Last Jedi mock in that video, but I didn't tell you what it was going to be. But here it is. It's the Resistance Skimmer. That's what people are calling it. We don't know if that's going to be the actual name, but that's just the name that everybody has been calling it ever since the trailer has been seen. So that's just a little bit of where the ship, where the ideas came from. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're going to be starting off with the minifig. Now the minifig wasn't the main focus of the build, I guess you could say. The main focus was, of course, the speeder, or ship. We don't really know if it can go in space or anything yet, but it's probably a speeder because it's seen like a speeder in the trailer. So here's the minifig. Like I said again, not a super big focus of the build. Basically what I used for him is Poe Dameron's blue helmet with the yellow and then a little bit of gray. It came in the Poe's blue X-Wing set, I believe. So that's what helmet piece I used. Then the head I used is a Rebellion pilot with the goggles printed on. Now, it's kind of weird that the goggles are printed on, but they're also on the helmet. But the goggles on the helmet also cover up the goggles on the printed face. And then it also has an alternate face, but I don't know if I'll be needing it. But in the trailer, they were seen going towards some walkers, so this face might be useful. And then finally, the torso and legs are just standard Resistance pilot. I didn't change anything up. I kept the same hands and arms. We didn't really get a closer look at the pilots that were going to be flying these things, so we didn't really see what suits they were going to be in, but I just made a simple Resistance pilot. So that's the minifig. Not a big focus of the build, again. But now we're going to take a look at the stand I made for this build, and then we'll take a look at the ship. I'm super excited to show you guys how I built the ship. So here's the stand. This is on a 16 by 16 plate, I believe. It's a sand-colored plate, because the planet that they're on is called Crate. I think it's been confirmed. It's kind of like it used to be a Rebel base, I believe. That's like a mining facility. So it has mineral deposits underneath the ground. So here's like the color of the sand. It looked a little bit white, but I decided to do this color. It seemed a little better. And then for the red dust, I used just some normal bricks with some plates on top of it to give it some texture. And then on the top, there's some overhang plates on the top. And then I used these three 1x2 clear bricks to hold the back of the ship up, because it's kind of heavy towards the back. So that's what I used to hold up the back. And then also on the back, I used just those two bricks to hold up the stand better. And then also on the 16 by 16 plate, I added some more plates on top of that to give it some more detail, like some cheese slopes and lots of other plates. This is where the stick comes down. That's why the sand is getting like pushed up, because it's like digging down into the sand. So that's pretty much all there is to it for the stand. I wasn't focusing on the sand like the minifigure, but I just decided to include the stand, with the sand and the dust on it. So that was the stand for this thing to sit on. I'll show you how that looks in detail later. So basically the ship, it took me actually quite a while to build because I had to make sure I could get all the details in. So let me quickly put the minifig in here. But first, before I do that, I'll show you the cockpit interior. So nothing super special in the cockpit. Just a slope piece in the back, and then like a computer piece, So that's how the minifigure sits in. He barely fits because I had to make this cockpit kind of small so it wouldn't look super, you know, like bulky on the side. So the minifig fits in like that, and then there's just enough room for him to put his arms in because these are panels that are stuck on the studs on the side pieces. So that simply hooks on like that, and then there's one on the other side too. Now on the back there's an engine that's made up of a couple pieces. There's one of these engine pieces on a stud that allows it to hook onto this kind of like pyramid shaped piece, I guess you could say. Then on the back, or cone piece, sorry. On the back there's just some more detailing. There's these two slopes that kind of curve over to give it some nice texture. Then there's this piece on the back too. And then that simply just connects on right there. And then this section is just hooked on for his head to kind of fit easier. And then the cockpit, I'm simply using one of these type of cockpits with the curve on the front and then just the flat on the back, so it just closes like that, and his head doesn't get caught by the canopy because you can see that it doesn't touch the top. So that's the main canopy section. If you're wondering how that hooks on like that, and then I just simply hook it on like that. So pretty easy connection. So on the wing, there's just I added a teeny bit of color, just like this dark tan color, because I was gonna do yellow, but I decided not to do yellow because it was a little bit too bright. So I used dark tan, and I think it looks pretty cool. Then there's also some dark gray, some light gray, and vent here, just to give it some detail. Then a slope piece going up to that main engine. And then I added tons of detail towards the front, like tons of different pieces. Some handlebars and like droid arms, and then these are curved in. So it's pretty cool. And then some blasters towards the bottom with another droid arm. So that's pretty cool. And then some of these clip pieces. Nothing's clipped on, they're just there for extra texture. Then on the side there's some slopes with these, I don't know what kind of piece they are, but they're just there to make it so there's no gaps. So then how this piece connects on is there's a hole in the bottom right there, and then that simply just connects on, and there's some pieces hooked onto the back like a gear, and then that yellow piece is just there to hold it in place better. So that just simply connects in like that, and then those bars just get attached right there, like these detailing right there. And then that connects onto this back part, which is like the back end of it. So it just connects on simply with some bricks, and then on the sides there's some more of those plates here that the pieces can stick on the sides. Now there's supposed to be a dark tan stripe and then a light gray stripe, but I didn't have enough another one of those pieces, so I just decided to make them both dark tan. And actually I think it kind of looks kind of cool because it's like some wear and tear on it, or they may have the paint got scratched or something. Because as you can see on the other side, let me remove this canopy really quick so you can see that better. There's the light gray stripe and then the dark tan stripe right there. So it's pretty cool. And then on the back, like I said, this piece hooks on just with a simple connection. So that connects on like that. And then on the back, this is the back tail fin piece. So it has two of these pieces with the holes to attach it to, and then a round brick with one of these pieces, Technic piece, and then two more of those Technic pieces hooked onto there, and then one of those 1x3 bar pieces, I guess you could say, the Technic pin, which connects it to this piece like that, and then that allows it to move around, because in the trailer this moves around a lot when that one ship crashes into the ground. And then I hooked these on kind of in a weird way, but I guess it still works. There's like a bar clipped onto two clips with a 1x3 plate on each side, and then a stud that connects into there, so that can move around too. And then that simply just connects onto the back like that. So let me quickly connect this canopy back on again, like that. So that's the main top part. And then on this side, like we see in the trailer, there's some blasters on this side, so there's two more stripes right there. But then instead of being the canopy, there's this whole section right here, this like flat section with some slopes on the back, and then on the front there's another slope with 2 cannons in the front. And then the way I hooked these cannons on is I just on the bottom hooked them into this piece right here with the studs on the front. And then for the blasters I used a cone piece that's in black, and then a rod, and then a Technic pin on the end because I thought that looked pretty cool, added a little bit more detail. Then there's a hinge on the bottom to give it some more detail. So that's the main blaster section. There's 2 more clips on each side, like one right there, to give it some more detail. And then there's a vent right there too. So on the bottom there's quite a bit more detailing, just mostly attachments and everything I used to hold it together. I added these like little like wire pieces, I guess you could say. So there's like this one stuck into this like bracket piece, and then there's another one too. They're hooked on different ways, and then there's this tap piece that's hooked into one of those studs with the hole in it, so that makes like some piping detailing. And there's also also some on the other side, but they're attached a little bit different because the canopy is hooked on a little bit different. And then there's some inverted slopes on the bottom, like the 2x3 ones, on both sides. And then there's the dome pieces on the bottom, like the inverted domes. And then so the last thing I need to show you is the thing that sticks down. We don't know for sure what it is. It's probably just maybe like a stabilizer. So basically how I connected this on to here is a ratcheting joint, and then I used some Technic pieces to hook that on, like a bar with a small one with a stud on the top, and then a long one going down. And then towards the bottom I stuck this piece on with the with another one of those tap type pieces on the end to give it the so it can like dig down into the sand and such. So that gives it a pretty nice look. So that just can be straight, or it can be tilted back a little bit. I think I like it straight when it's displayed though, because it stays on a little bit better. So that's pretty much all the detailing for the skimmer. Let me see if I can zoom out. Oh, that's as far as it'll go. So I'm gonna quickly put this back on the stand, and then I'll see you guys in a minute. So as you guys can see on the stand, it looks pretty awesome because like I said, here's the stabilizer that's coming down, and there's the sand that's broken up right there towards the bottom. So that looks pretty cool, a nice detail. And then there's the sand or the dust in the back. And then, like I said, there's this see-through or clear piece holding up the back. So that gives it some extra stability. And then on the back there's the stabilizer, like the fin on the back. So that's pretty cool. The stand isn't the stablest, but it still works to mainly just hold it up. Like, as long as you don't move it around too much, it's usually pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much the full look at the Resistance Skimmer mock. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, and definitely be sure to subscribe, because that's very highly appreciated on my channel. So thumbs up if you want more Last Jedi mocks. I'm going to be doing another minifigure custom for the movie. I'm going to be doing the new version of Kylo Ren with his scar on his face, the black version of BB-8 with like the silver, and then I'm going to be doing another minifigure of some sort. I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video, but you'll see in the next video. I don't know if it'll need any paint, but I'll see. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe and like. So yeah, guys, this has been LEGO Star Wars Gamer. See you later, guys.